Hello guys, how you doing? Back again. I decided to treat myself this month and I bought myself an entire box of Ravinca because I was like, seems like a lot of the good cards in the set I found are actually in Ravinca, so I thought I'm gonna buy myself a box set of Ravinca. Apparently, according to my last unboxing, my pulls were actually pretty good. Had some like really good money cards according to some people, which is pretty awesome. I actually trended in one of those white cat creatures. Can't even remember what it's called. It's like a $30 card apparently. I traded in 3 pack rats for it. So happy bunny because I like pack rats. Right. So let's get started. Our little thing, partner with us. Key. Okay, so the thing about the Ravinca is it's probably the biggest set out of all of them as far as I know, and it probably has the most like sort of after money cards, at least some of the strongest cards anyway. I'm hoping that I'm going to get some Planeswalkers. I'm hoping to get some like green white stuff because I've got a green white deck that I kind of made after the previous unboxing video that I did. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'm probably just going to put my rubbish in that. Alright, again, I'm terrible with this goddamn camera. I honestly tried to set up an angle beforehand, it just didn't work very well. Okay, this works well. Okay. I actually don't think if I have many like kind of common Ravinca stuff as well, so I think it's pretty good for me to get some of that. I tell you what I'm going to do first of all, I'm just going to go to the back of it. Alright, Swamp. Random card. Jared's orders. I've got a lot of Jared's cards. I've actually got Jared himself, which is pretty cool. I've always wanted to make like a green-black deck, but I don't know if there's any real strategy behind it. Like the Simic on the other hand is always like, oh, +1 counters everywhere. That's why I mainly use it. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, and the other one into the graveyard, then shuffle your library. That's handy. I like that. There's a lot of black cards that kind of deal with, oh, you know, discard this card and, you know, or discard 1 card and bring back another card from the graveyard. Especially if it's a zombie card, then usually you can just like resurrect it from the graveyard. Or sometimes there's some cool effects with like, say, you have a card and you put it in the graveyard. If it goes straight into the graveyard, then, you know, you can resurrect it for like no fee. Codex Shredder, Skymark Rock, Azura Justica. When Azura just enters the battlefield to turn up to 2 target creatures. That's pretty good. Till next turn, these creatures can't attack or block their activated abilities. That's really cool. I like that. I might use that in something, or who knows. I'm just gonna put my commons like in a pile there. Just be easier. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. Like the last time I did the video, it took freaking ages to upload. I'm not gonna lie. It took ages to just stick it online. But then again, I guess that's what happens when I don't like compress stuff. Pretty standard common stuff actually. Oh, that's cool, Ragnos. Might need another gate for that. So, Phantom General creature tokens you get +1/+1. That's really handy. Actually, for the current deck I have. Oh, that's it. The Celsna key rune. That's cool. So I can either add green or white to my mana pool, and then it becomes a 3/3 white wolf artifact creature into end of the turn for a 2/2. That's actually pretty good. Because here's the thing with most stuff, sometimes you just have nothing to really play in your hand, whereas this is something you can always play that allows you extra stuff. I think I'm probably going to put that in my deck. I might put that one in my deck as well. That's a good card. Grave Betrayal. I don't think I've actually got this card yet. Whenever a creature you don't control dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with an additional +1/+1 counter on it on the beginning of the next end step. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other colour types. Oh, that's good. That's very, very good. Especially when you're killing a lot of like kill spells. If this was like in a, I might put this in like a red-green. I mean red-black deck. And actually go pretty well. I've never really been interested in editing videos, so I probably won't edit this video. Ooh. Oh, Rakdos keystones, shiny. Nice. Nice. I always like getting shinies, because, you know, I just do. I like this a lot, especially considering the fact I also want to make a Rakdos deck. My Simic deck also has another shiny keystone. Ooh. Let's have a look at this bad boy. Corpse Jack Menace. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature you control, twice that many +1/+1 counters on it instead. Oh, that's fucking awesome. This is really good if I had like a Hydra. Like most Hydras have like +1/+1 counters type kind of thing on it. So if one or more +1/+1 counters would be placed on a creature you control, twice that many +1/+1 counters. Now that works really well with this, because then of course you're going to bring it back to the battlefield. And with an additional +1/+1 counter on it at the beginning of the end step. So basically I can just double the +1/+1 counters on it. That's really good. That's really, really good. Standard common stuff. Silencer Gilgat. I think I've already got a few of those. Man, how many artifacts do I want in this? Jeez. Slum Reaper. Enter the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. That's cool. I don't know if I'll be able to have to play that if I have a creature. I guess it's when it enters the battlefield. It's not, in addition to the cost to play this card, you have to sacrifice a creature. That's good, and it's a 4/2 for 4 mana. It's not bad. Yeah, is that Keystone? When Street Super attacks, lands or auras attached to target land. Okay, fair enough. It's only good though if you know what someone's playing, I guess. Some of these cards you're like, oh yeah, well that's only if they have, you know, red green. Ooh, Senator's Herald shiny. Oh, nice. This is another good green-white. Wi-Fi's power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever weapon deals combat damage to a player, populate. Put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of the current. Put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of the current creature you control. Put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of a creature you control. Cool. That's good. That's really good. I mean, obviously, again, I need to have lots and lots of tokens. If I find any good cards in here that basically allow me to like double up tokens or play tokens quite easily, then I'm definitely going to use that more in my white-green. I'm always having, it seems like whenever I'm playing any game against anybody, they've always got red, and I'm just always losing to red. Mizumi Mortars. Mizumi Mortars deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control. Overload. Wow, oh, that's pretty awesome. That's a 1/1, 4 damage. And then I can just pay off the overload cost, which probably most likely I can do anyway. Or each target creature that you don't control. That's even better if I was playing against multiple people. Obviously. I always like to play against multiple people because it just tends to give me the time to just have this breathing space. Especially with my decks that I have. I'm not the best strategist, not the best like kind of deck maker in the world, but I enjoy playing the game. I'll be honest, like I haven't actually played that much very recently because we've been playing different games, and my club I've been going to. Oh, nice. I very rarely get mythics. Flying. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counters on it. Oh, that's awesome. With my other guy, holy shit, that could be a powerhouse with my other guy. Basically, just doubling up +1/+1 counters all over the place. Yeah, and with a lot of green stuff contains like, hey, you know, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Gobbling Ooze. Sacrifice another creature, put a +1. See, look, very simple stuff like that. Because let's face it, with some black stuff, it's going to be mostly like sacrifice creatures, or you know, get a creature token, like a 1/1 creature token for nothing. Stuff like that. Oh man, I still got so many cards to go through. The only thing I don't like about doing all this, like new decks, is like having to organise all the cards. I have so many bloody cards to organise. And that's to face it, when you organise all those cards, sometimes you're not really going to go into them that much. I kind of just, you know, organise them by type and then by rarity. Got to snipe. Counter target spell, gain 5 life. Nice. Whenever bizarre crit attacks another creature, gets +1 there. Oh, nice. Slaughter games. Slaughter games can't be countered by spells or ability. Name a non-land card, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, or library for any number of the cards with that name and exile them. That player then shuffles his or her library. If you've got... Oh, nice. Ooze token. If you've got an opponent that has things like kill spells and stuff that can easily come back into the graveyard, that's pretty awesome to have. Not gonna lie. I think that definitely after this, I'm gonna probably have to make myself a red-green deck. Again, I'm sitting in a weird position, so this is hurting my back. I see that. There we go. I see that. Stonefar Crocodile. A 2/1 sacrifice. Several gains lifelink and turn to 10. It's not bad. I would have thought that would have been an uncommon actually, but not bad at all. Beginning of each upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in his hand, he or she loses 3 life. That's really good, especially when you get like later on into the game. Obviously not so good for you because you would have to make sure that you actually have cards in your hand, otherwise you're gonna lose. I guess, you know, with most games it doesn't really matter. Goblin, 1/1 Goblin. Ah, Deathbridge Goliath. I've already got one of these bad boys, but I'm probably gonna put it in trade. Ideally, you have the chance to get 2 mythics in every pack. But there's a possibility. There's always a possibility, which is nice. Mountain, shit card. Oh, rest in peace. I've already got so many of these. Rest in peace. Enters the battlefield. Exile all cards from all graveyards. If a card or token would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to reread that one. When Rest in Peace enters the battlefield, exile all cards from all graveyards. If a card or token would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So basically, this enchantment says, no, you can't go through your graveyard and resurrect things. That's good, I guess, for green-white. I might put that in my green-white deck. Judge's Familiar, flying 1/1, sacrifice, counter target, instantly source spell, counter plays, okay. Rogue's Passage, add 1 to your mana pool, or 4 and tap it and then target creatures unblockable this turn. That's pretty handy, especially for, well, actually pretty much for anything. It's pretty handy. Standard stuff. I really wish there was some way for you like to just buy packs of cards that were just uncommons and maybe like a couple of commons, but then mostly uncommons, like a couple of rares for like an added cost, you know, like Uber packs. Martial Law at the beginning of your upkeep, detain target creature and opponent controls. Oh, so like as soon as I start, like, yeah, you can't use that. It's mine now. Not, you can't read, like, you know. I'm playing a game in the background. Put an XX ooze creature and token on the battlefield. Nice. That will probably actually do me very well in my green-black deck. Then again, though, it's not XX +1/+1 counters on it. It's XX. So that still would work, though. That still would be handy. Just like, you know, play that out your ass. I don't know how many booster packs I've gotten through. I don't know how long my video is so far. Street Super Shiny. Ooh, yeah, perfect. Grove of the Guardian, add 1 to mana pool. 3 colourless, green, white, tap. 2 untapped creatures you control, which let's face it would probably be like 2 tokens. Sacrifice, Grove of the Guardian, put an 8/8 green-white elemental creature token with vigilance on the battlefield. Oh, that's good. I like that. Especially if you, especially sometimes like I'm playing a game, I'm like, I have nothing to put out, I don't have enough mana, but That's actually really, really decent to just tap those 2 creatures. That's brilliant. That is good. More token. I honestly don't know anyone that uses artifacts that much, to be honest. Some of these are interesting. Like, some people will probably be able to like use them pretty easily in like, you know, a non-standard decks, or yeah, like modern decks. Here's the thing, I don't understand. Why can't they just call modern like all the new stuff, and then why don't they just call standard like all the old stuff? I don't know. I've actually gotten a few of these already. Havoc Festival. Players can't gain life at the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player loses half of his life rounded up. That's, I don't know how, you can only really play that if you've got more life, and let's face it, when you're running red and black, you probably actually have more life than they do at a certain point in time. Target creature gets +4, -4 until end of turn. If you guys, I mean, I doubt that many people were like really sitting down and like really into me just unboxing a box of cards. Some people are. Like, I used to like collect the Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, and I used to watch people, oh, that's perfect, look what I just got. I got the token for that Vigilance creature, perfect. Nice. Oh, yeah. Niv Mizzet. I've already got one of him. I guess having 2 of them isn't too bad. Although I don't know anyone that's actually, I mean, I've had him in my trades folder for freaking ever, and no one's ever like been like, oh yeah, he looks cool. Ah, Minotaur Berserker. I think I might know who somebody who might like that. Ah, and Golgari Charm, lovely, because as I said, I want to make a Golgari deck. Golgari Charm, choose 1. All creatures get -1/+1 until the end of turn. Destroy target enchantment or regenerate each creature you control. That's really handy if you're attacking. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to regenerate all of them. For a 2/2. Oh, I mean, not 2/2, but, you know, like 1 mana each of each colour. It's pretty easy to pull off. Or if you're, like, attacking, and then, like, they block, then you pull out that shit out your arsehole. It's awesome. Planes. I've already got one of him as well. Cardinal Hellsteed. First strike, haste, unleash. It's okay. I just wouldn't see there much point because it's quite a large. Like, I would think that most like black red would be kind of like just like kill spell type kind of stuff. Risen Sanctuary, 5/2/2 for an 8/8 vigilance. Nice. With most of those cards where it's like, oh, you know, it's a 8/8, you would think it would have 8 mana cost, but it's got vigilance as well. It's pretty hard when you've got a creature which is like an 8/8 and it's got vigilance. Like most like, it's even tough enough even having like a 3/3 on the battlefield with vigilance sometimes. Sometimes you know they're gonna mess you up. Sorry if like half of this is cut off and you can't see half the cards, because I'm a fucking retard and I sometimes can't like actually point the cards at my camera. Counterflux. Counterflux can't be countered spells by abilities. Counterspell, you counter target spell you don't control. Counter target spell you don't control. That's pretty straightforward. There's many cards like that and many abilities like that though. Oh, nice. That's cool. I haven't actually had that one yet, I don't think. Spawn of Rix Maddie Unleash. It's cool. I like shinies. Shinies are nice. I actually got myself a booster box, not booster box, sorry, a fat pack of Ravnica very recently as well. And I got some pretty okay pulls in that. Nothing too awesome. Ooh, a critical creature gets +1 and +0 for each of its colours. Equip 1. That's pretty good. So basically you get like a 2/2 on most of your stuff for one for like, you know, 2. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I haven't had this one before. Death's Presence. Whenever a creature you control dies, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the power of that creature that died. That's good again for my Golgari deck. But no. God, I think we're about halfway through now. Man, here's the thing, right? Ideally, I love Magic the Gathering, but it's just kind of getting to the point now. I don't know if I've got too many cards or not. You know what I mean? Like, the thing with all these commons is, like, they are great, but what are you going to do with them? Like, most commons you know are good, and you just kind of start using them, but I usually try and go for the rare cards if I can. Oh, Blood Crypt. Perfect. I know someone else that might want that one. Here's the thing about lands that I've noticed. Like, there's many different sets that have, like, the same type of land type, you know, like, black-red. You know, as enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, then it's tapped. And that's fine. You know, but the thing is, you can have, you know, 4 of those in each deck of each name, because it all depends on the name, not necessarily the type, obviously. So, I don't know, someone else in might want that one. There's a guy who's basically running, I know he's running a Minotaur deck, and it's insane. Even though he's like... Trample, 5/5 Trample Worm. I think I know what that's for. I think I've already got that card. Return a card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile, Treasure Find. Perfect. That's perfect. Perfect card. Detention Sphere. When Detention Sphere enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent not named Detention Sphere and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. When Detention Sphere leaves the battlefield, return exile cards to the battlefield under the owner's control. That's actually pretty good for a low cost. Or permanents. So I could just, like, exile, like, all pack rats. Most, I mean, as far as I've been able to find, that most white blue is all control kind of stuff, like you're kind of controlling what they want to do. Search the City. When Search the City enters the battlefield, exile the top 5 cards of your library. Whenever you play a card with the same name as one of the exiled cards, you may put one of those cards with the same name into the owner's hands. When there is no card to exile with the Search list, you sacrifice it. If you do, take an extra turn after this one. Whoa! That's basically like, oh, you know, that's pretty handy if you've got like a lot of cards in your deck that are basically the same one. If an instant or sorcery card will be put into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. That's pretty handy, especially if you're fighting like black. But I might put that in my deck. I mean, it's a 2/1 for 1 mana of any colour. And then it's got like, oh yeah, instant or sorcery card spells. Yeah, you can't put those in the graveyard. You have to exile them. Pretty handy for like anything that wants to get rid of the cards again. For 1/1 of bird. Ooh. Sphere of Safety. Bush Strider. Oh, 3/1 Vigilance. It's not good, that's not bad. Guild Mage. You always want to put the Guild Mage in the guild decks you want to make. I mean, come on. Yeah, like, the target gets 1/1/1 against Intimidate until end of turn. The thing is, though, do they get the +1/+1 counter until end of turn, or they just get the +1/+1 counter? Sacrifice a non-token creature. Put an X 1/1 tokens in the battlefield. X to the sacrifice creature's toughness. Huh. Search your library for an instant card with converted mana cost of 3, which, let's face it, if you're running red or blue, it's pretty much everything. And put it into your hand. Then repeat this process for instant cards with a converted mana cost of 2 and 1. Then shuffle your library. That's pretty good. Basically, like, just get a ton of instant cards. Oh, it's instant cards, converted mana cost. It's just instants. It's not sorceries. Starting to pile up now. I still got like a third of the way to go. Oh, Lilith Troll, Trample, discard creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on that troll, regenerate troll. That's really good. That's really good. Because, I mean, let's face it, sometimes you just can't play certain cards and you much rather just put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. That's really good, again, with my Golgari deck with the other card, the other black card that I got, where you can just double up the +1/+1 counters. Oh, wrong pile. Wrong pile. I'm putting all my uncommons and all my, like, basically anything that's common is going to one pile, and anything that's not is going to the other. Then I'll probably sort them out afterwards. I would probably think I will get myself another booster box, maybe in some time. I mean, I said I was going to do it like sometime in like April, so I might do that depending on how I feel, because obviously there's no point in me just doing it just for the sake of doing it. Minotaur Aggressor. Slitherhead. That looks awesome. Scavenge. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put +1/+1 counters equal to this card's power and toughness on target creature. Oh, that's awesome. So just 1/1, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to discard it and put a +1/+1 counter on there. Again. Another Golgari Charm. Oh, I got Shiny Swamp. Perfect. What's this? Voltage Rig. For trample, Voltage Rig attacks each turn available. Whenever Voltage Rig's dealt damage, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sacrifice it. When Voltage dies, flip a coin. If you lose the flip coin, it deals 4 damage to each creature and each player. What? That's an awesome card. That's so fuck you. Oh, that's great. So whenever it is dealt damage, flip a card. So basically it's like, hey, take 4 damage or like have a couple of turn flips, and when you can basically fuck us all up. I like this card. I like that very much. I might put that into my Golgari deck just for the sake of like saying, well, fuck you. Just fuck you. That's a great card. That is a great card. Especially with like, you know... Oh, Jace. Oh, Jace. I've got a Simic deck where I've already got 1 Jace card in, but I might put this one in as well. Of course, I can't have 2 Planeswalkers, but oh, that's good. Oh, I'm so glad I got a Planeswalker. Because I knew there's quite a few, and Jace is like one of the big ones, ideally. So I'm very, very glad. Sometimes I feel like it's worth me spending £90 on a booster box just to get 1 Planeswalker. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. I would read off all of his abilities, but I'll be sitting here for freaking ever. And usually I'd expect like when you buy a booster box, Steam Vents, shiny, oh nice. Ash Zealot. First strike haste, whenever a player casts a spell from the graveyard, Ash Zealot deals 3 damage to that player. That's interesting. Through a 2/2 first strike haste. That's actually a really, really good card, and it's got like a really good ability. That's pretty awesome. I never seen that one before. I'm terrible with my red cards. I've never really made a red deck, but I keep on getting beaten by red decks. I think maybe maybe life is trying to tell me like, you know, you need to make some kind of red deck. I'd pretty rather make like a red blue, because again I don't really make much with blue apart from my Simic deck. Another shiny. Just a common shiny. That's cool. That's nice. World Spine Worm. Whoa, 11 mana? Jeez, what's this guy do? Trample. Whenever it dies, put a 3/5/5 worm creature tokens with trample on the battlefield. Whenever World Spine Worm is put into the graveyard from any time, shuffle it into its own line. What? That's insane. It's a 15/15? Holy crap, that thing's insane. I'm gonna put that in I'm gonna put that in my Golgari deck if I can. Especially if I have to discard that card from my hand to put +1/+1 counters on things. That's fucking mental. That is fucking mental. That's an awesome card. I reckon that's pretty like a big money card as well. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you got that card. Oh man, I'm really happy with those. Real happy, and I've still got like another like 10 booster packs to go. I have no idea how long this video is. Oh man, I'm a happy bunny. Oh, I've already got one of these guys. They're kind of okay. All damage will be dealt this turn, or another permanent you control is dealt to him instead. That's clever. You got one of those rogue things. Haven't seen that comment before. Maybe I probably have. 2/2 Scavenge. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to this card's power toughness on target creature. Again, good card I might use in my Golgari deck. I probably have to look through some of my green-black stuff to figure out if there's any more +1/+1. I mean, there's a lot of +1/+1 when it comes down to my Simic, but I'll probably just keep that as it is. Azuras, Elecutors, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a filibuster counter on this card. Then, if this card has 5 or more filibusters counters on it, you win the game. When a source deals damage to you, remove a filibuster counters. Oh, okay. That's cool, and it's a 5/3 as well. That's pretty cool. That's nice. All the Azet cards. All of them. Blister Coil, weird. 1/1. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, gets a +1/+1 counter until end of turn. Untap it. That's pretty cool. 2/2. Azet deals 1 damage to target creature and another to creature with the same name as that creature. Flash. You may place flash as you had haste. It's got haste as well. That's cool though. Of course, it's got no damage on it. Like, that's still pretty awesome. I really like that worm creature though. I always said that I really like worm creatures, especially with the token thing. I think there's another card that I got in there which says, oh, like all card tokens. I think that might be with Simic though. Oh, nice. Never guessed elemental. Exile an instant or sorcery spell you control. You control? How can you control a sorcery spell or an instant spell? Put 2 +1/+1 counters on that. So like things that are in my graveyard, like sorcery spells that are in my graveyard, I can just exile them and put 2 +1/+1 counters on that card. For a 1, it's a 1/2/1. Damn. Damn, nature, you crazy. I got some really good cards in this deck, and this booster box. Like, this is the thing that I always think, oh, is it worth me buying a booster box? Ooh. Again, another card I probably will never use, but will probably put in my trades and sit there for a long time, but it looks really cool. Supreme Judge. Fly. Whenever a creature attacks or a planeswalker you control, you may draw a card. Just draw a card whenever a creature attacks. That is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. I just remembered something. You know, I want to make this Golgari deck. I just remembered that I actually traded my Golgari to another guy. Oh well. Enchanted Land. Enchanted Land has pay 1 life, draw a card. That's good. I like that. Guild Mage. Cool. I've got another like 5 booster packs, 6 booster packs left, I think. Maybe I'll put the Jace Architect into my Azet deck that I might make. Savage Surge, Golgari Stone, Street Spasm, Temple Garden, yeah. Nice. These cards are like worth $10 every time it seems.